Hey guys, Omar here from my point of view, and today I have a special treat. It is this 2019 Dodge Charger RT. Yes, Dodge Charger RT. And here's the key fob. I'm gonna do a little cold start for you guys, but already there's a problem. Yep, I got a Chrysler key fob with my Dodge Charger, and this is it. Look, as you can tell, it's kind of weird, but nonetheless. So let's go ahead and do a little cold start, shall we? So you want to do your trip meter and all that stuff, you just use the scroll bar right here. You can do your fuel economy, all that stuff. You can reset it. You can do your miles per gallon. My range is 43 right now. I drove a total of about 200, let me see. So it's best for me to take a picture of it during that time. So from my apartment, or should I say from the airport, I drove approximately 110 miles and I managed 27 miles per gallon on the highway. That's when just straightforward cruise control. I think cruise control is on 80 miles per hour. And for the total round trip, this is actually just a screenshot of the trip I showed you, because right now that's not accurate. On the way back, I still managed 25.4 miles per gallon. Now, during that time, I did go full throttle, I think twice to overtake. So the miles per gallon could be slightly better. I would say a round trip, also 27 miles per gallon. So this is kind of a real world testing, because, you know, this is the real world we're living in right now. All right, guys, so I am at Franklin, Tennessee at Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So let's see if I could just look at some other examples of the Chargers, and hopefully the sales associate would be nice to take time out of his or her day. All right, cool. So I got permission to just look at these cars real quick. Right now it's like 4:20 and the dealership closes at 6 o'clock, so I'm not gonna be here leaning around all this time. Man, I got so much respect for these cars. These cars take some abuse, but they just keep on going. I wish these cars could be made forever, but in today's world, I can see why not. Everyone wants one of those mid-size, compact, small SUVs. Dodge Charger GT black top. So every time I see one of these with the black mirrors, it's a black top edition. Nice to know. Actually, the headlights and everything, it's the same. It just doesn't have the body kit, the hood scoop and all that stuff. Got some lime green Challengers as well. This one's a Hemi. The interior is pretty much the same. I don't think it has a sport mode. Yeah, this one does have a sport mode, because this is not the GT package. We got this nice, again, spoiler on here. So Chrysler's been really killing the game with these Chargers. I love the color options as well. All right, so we're looking at this 2019 Dodge Charger SXT black top. This is not the GT, so it does have the aggressive front end, but it's a black top, so you got kind of like the black mirrors, which are optionals, and you have the black spoiler on the back. And some very nice black sporty wheels on here. But on the inside, obviously this is just the V6. You get no paddle shifters on here. The gear lever is the same. And this layout's the same as well, but it's missing like the sport button. But the layout's pretty much the same. So the V6 ones, you have 140 on the dash. The Hemis, you have the 160 with the 5.7s. Then we have the 6.4 or the 392, you have 180. The Hellcat's 200 and the Red Eye is 220. So that's how it kind of goes. Now I really like the whole, how everything is just laid out like that. There's no other company that does that. And I have so much respect for Dodge, Chrysler, and Fiat for still producing this Charger and Challenger and 300. It's a car for pretty much anyone on the market, whatever budget he or she has. And that's a very nice blue on here. And with the lime green, that's a very nice color scheme. I really do like that. Now it's time back for this Hemi, which I have no shame of. I love the package on here. But everything about this one in particular I like. Even with the 6.4, like I said earlier, I mean, it's faster, it's louder. But this is pretty much all I need, because I already darn full in these anyways. And yeah, that's pretty much all. I mean, come on, man, that's all I need, dude. All right, so let's go ahead and start doing a little quick review here shortly. All right, so now it's time to start the review of this 2019 Dodge Charger RT. Here's the key fob right here. You got your lock, your unlock. You got, I think, press it twice for the trunk to pop open. Let's do it right now. As you see, the trunk pops open and it lifts all the way up. When you unlock it, the lights turn on. When you lock it, the lights turn off. Got the little panic button, which I'm not going to hit. And this little circle right here, that is the remote start. You do not have to hit lock and then the remote start twice. All you have to do is hit it twice. And it beeps twice. And the car roars to life. Now when you did the remote start and you hit the unlock button, the lights will turn on. You can just turn it off by hitting the remote start button again, just once. And it turns off. So I just locked the door and had the key fob, this Chrysler key fob. I'm sure you can see it. It's what it is. So the doors are locked and the keys are in my pocket. If I walk up to it, I don't have to press any buttons. If I just put my hand underneath the door handle, it unlocks. The lights turn on and everything. This little button right here, you just lock it. That's how you lock it. You just press it once, you hear it click. If you press it again, pops the horn. You can get the V6 in this package as well, but it's called the GT, which hopefully I get to review one day. But now this bad boy is just a Hemi right here. I just love this little curve, how Dodge integrate this. I don't care. I mean, yeah, it's a Charger. It's supposed to be a two-door, but I can't complain, man. This is a four-door muscle car in 2019, heading into 2020, where car manufacturers are going EV and hybrid everything. Man, this is great to have this type of vehicle still in production. If I were to spec out a Hemi, it would look just like this, 100%. I love the white color. I love the stainless steel wheels. It has everything on the outside except for the sunroof. Let's get on to the review. Not fully loaded, but it has little sway seats inside. Side bolstering, very comfortable. I'll get to that more in a second. It does support me pretty well. Now, as you guys know, I'm 6'9", and this is considered a large sedan, and I fit in here pretty well. I can fit in the Challengers better than the Chargers. I have leg room, but it kind of dives down just a little bit. It's not like you're like flat, like I would say like a Malibu or something like that. And that's the best car I can give an example to. So let's go ahead and get it started because it's getting hot in here. There we go. The dashboard is a different material as well. Yeah, I have no idea. I wouldn't dare call this leather, but if anyone knows what type of material this is a different material versus like the standard one. I would assume this little blank spots right here is just probably your lane departure and, you know, for collision, all the other optional extras that this car does not have. So that's that. Got some power shifters on here. So this is a very nice steering wheel. And while we're up in the front here, I have my LG phone connected to the Uconnect system. This Uconnect system is very easy, very intuitive to use. If you want to move like the radio for some reason over here, you want to move the controls over here, you have complete access to do all that stuff. I'm just gonna leave it as it is right now. Now, when I first got this car, they had satellite radio, but they turned it off. So it's optional on here. FM, obviously just normal stuff. You got your media button, so if you have your USBs, auxiliary, Bluetooth, even if you have Android Auto, you can go to your media display. You got your controls. Now this one is, I believe the cloth seats you can have heated, but this little suede seats over here, you can come get them ventilated, or someone say them air conditioned or cooled seats, whatever. Ventilated is how it is on here. This has the optional heated steering wheel as well, and you can do the same options right here. I was kind of timed that on me. Heated seats and ventilated seats for the passenger as well. So I have my LG phone connected, and there's something I just want to demonstrate real quick. It's lagging when you want to change tracks on your Bluetooth. So I'm just gonna play just a quick little song. You can change the track on the screen. You can also change the track. I'm gonna cut that down. You can change the track on the left side of the steering wheel. If you press up, it will change to, you know, track up, or you go down. The buttons are right here. So if you want to do up, that's how it looks. Go down. Yeah, these aren't the power shifters. And the button in the middle will just change. So I just went from Bluetooth to satellite and back to my Bluetooth. And when you do that, It's kind of a delay to the music come back on, but that's what that bit button does right here on the right side. Now on the left side, it's the same kind of format, just up, down, and a little button. When you press that button in the middle, so I got my radio station on right now. So I'm just gonna press that, but I'm not gonna show it, but I'm gonna press it. And it just changes your favorite tracks. So it goes from 4, 5, 6, whatever, whatnot. That's what that does on the left side. And the left side, you just, like I said, you know, the tracks and all that stuff. But back to what I was saying earlier. So if I go to my Bluetooth, so I'm gonna press up. When I say up, then that's when I press the button. So I press up. You see how long it takes for it to go up and change the actual song? There are Bluetooth systems that are faster in other various vehicles. This is very kind of laggy. That's one thing I don't like about the Chargers and the 300s. So back to like the whole seats and comfort, stuff like that. When I first turn on the car, it seems like by default, that's pretty sure you've seen already, the ventilated seats is on and it's on low. So I go to settings to see if I can turn it off, but I have yet to see how to do all that stuff. But while we're at the settings screen, just want to show, if you want to lock your car, but you don't want the horn to sound every time you lock it twice, and also if you want to do the remote start, but you don't want the horn to go off as well with the remote start, so you can go to the doors and locks menu right here, and you have the option to turn that off. So sound horn when lock on the second press, so you got on the first press or off. Sound horn with remote start, turn it off as well. Passive entry, which I just showed, that's when you walk up to the car and just unlock it. If I press the button, just put your hand underneath the door handle. That's that, but I'm gonna leave that on. Let's just go ahead and review the back seats, because this is good for tall people, but will it be good for the back seat as well? So let's go ahead and put this up. You hear that beeping, just indicating that you lost the key fob in the vehicle, but I actually entered the vehicle right now. Now this is kind of a challenge because it's sloping, like a coupe-ish look, which I like, but it's gonna take a huge effect. Ooh, I hit my head too. On the headroom, no one's gonna be sitting all the way forward like this, just a demonstration purpose. I'm decent back here. If the seat were further back, let's say in that position, I probably won't be able to fit back here properly, but that's not the problem. The problem is actually, since that sloping rear end I just showed you, if I sit up properly straight, my goodness, my head is touching the glass. And that is a big no-no. I do not want my head to be touching the glass. But yeah, as you can see right now, my head is touching the glass. And that is probably gonna burn the crap and I have a bald spot. I may have a bald spot. I am not gonna experience it. I'm not gonna try. But yes, that is a no-go. So if you're tall, I would say even taller than 6 feet, I'm gonna say 6'5", your head would be back here, and that's oh no, my goodness, that's not gonna do. While I'm back here, it does have heated seats back here. Press once for just the high level, put on low. I can feel it already, I just pressed it within less than 10 seconds. And then you have your USBs right here as well, so you got plenty of charging back here for your 2 passengers. And this is good for 5, but 5 adults, that's gonna be kind of cramped. You got your transmission tunnel right here, which is supposed to be here because it's a rear wheel drive, thank God. They could have brought this car back into production as a front wheel drive, like an Impala, but I'm glad they did it. And I had the Hemi with me. But the seats back here are pretty comfortable. Can't complain about that. Now what I have here is the 5.7 liter Hemi. Oh man, everyone loves a Hemi. It has 370 brake horsepower. It's actually made it to an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and this has to be one of the best transmissions I've experienced in a car. It's very smooth, it has not given me any problems whatsoever. It's an 8-speed like that Toyota Camry, not the same, but it's just so, obviously this is a V8 versus the 4-cylinder, but man, this is a good engine right here. This is a properly good engine. I like it so much. Now you can get it in the bigger engine, actually 2. You can get a 3.6 V6, the 5.7 I have right now. That's 6.4, 485 brake horsepower. That's 6.2, the Hellcat. I'm not for sure what the 6.2 high output is, but because you can't get the Demon in this. Oh, the Red Eye, that's what it is. That's what I believe it is, yeah. So the second one is the Red Eye, yeah. So this is like the entry level V8, which I love, and I actually prefer it over the 6.4. And why is that? Why would you pick a car that has 115 horsepower or less? This is rated at 370, and the other one is at 485. Well, for that amount of power, which you could do on the street legally, I don't see the need of having that much power, like 700 brake horsepower. Yeah, that's cool and all, but I hate to be that guy, but there's a limit what you actually do on the road. Unless you go to the track and all that stuff. Sure, I can understand. But having driven the Scat Pack is actually kind of lower than its Hemi. Now, some people like lower cars. I don't, frankly. I like to have some of my friends in the cars, and I do not trust me. My mother had a 99 Toyota Camry. For some reason, like the exhaust was hanging down at the bottom, and we would scratch it every single time going over a speed bump. It was gruesome. I hated it. So I don't like low cars, and I like the stance of this one as well. Also, the 392 feels heavier. Well, obviously it is, because that's a bigger motor in the front. It feels heavier to drive. Now, that's just subjective. That's how I feel. This is my point of view. So that's the reason why I prefer the Hemi overall. So I'll talk about putting it in sport mode and put the engine and transmission in sport mode as well. So how you do that is, could get so in, turn back on this AC. So here's the sport mode right here. As right now, it's still activated. So when you click it, turn it on. Excuse me, I'll just turn it off. So when you click it, turn it on, and that little green checker flag will appear. Now, put the engine and transmission into sport mode. This is available actually on the GT. You can put the V6 in the same option, but if you get the SXT package, this whole face is different, like I showed you at the dealership. It's going to press it, and you have all these options. On the SRTs, this layout will be slightly different. So this is how you put your engine transmission in sport. Put in normal mode, sport. If you want to play with power shifters and it gives you an error message, this is how you do it. Traction, I'm actually going to keep that in normal, and the steering, keep it in sport. Now let's talk about driving dynamics between the 5.7 and the 6.4. Even though you got the option of changing the steering wheel, in normal, when you first start the vehicle, this is so much easier to drive than the 392, just from my point of view, versus the Hemi. But everyone has, different tastes. This does it for me. So let's go ahead and go for a quick little drive. So I'm in sport mode, I'm in drive. I'm gonna select it over to the left, and now I'm in manual mode. Engine and transmission still in sport mode, and let's go ahead and give it a drive. There's a cool little trick I like about the 5.7 versus the 6.4 is when you shift first, second and third, you lift up the gas pedal, you upshift, and then you smack the gas pedal again, and then the exhaust makes this huge pow sound. It's best to do it underneath the tunnel or underneath the bridge or whatnot. I drove a total of 808 miles. Now, this in comparison to 6.4, when you cruise around like on a runoff, where you let the exhaust play out a little bit, the 6.4 does a lot of more crackle and pop. This does it very on occasion, but not as much as the 6.4. You can actually turn off the display if you don't want it on. Just hit the power button. It's actually on the volume knob, and then it could go away. You can turn up all the lights up high, and then the dumb lights will turn on. You can turn down low. Keep it up to medium. It has a nice voice to it. Forgot to mention, even though the steering wheel has some blank spots underneath the cruise control, it does have blind spot monitoring. You could upshift, downshift on the gear lever down here, which I prefer, and also you can use the power shifters. They're very quick and responsive. Not only does this thing like to be driven hard, but it's actually a pretty good, comfortable cruiser. So I'm in sport mode. You probably don't have to put it in sport mode, but here we go. I'm gonna do it with the windows up. Nope, didn't do it right. Still wasn't loud. Ah! I hate when I don't do it properly. Bringing up to highway speeds like 70 miles an hour is a quick breeze. That was kind of an incline for an entry wrap, but this engine sounds the best when you're like in 4th or 5th gear and you're cruising around like 4,000 RPM. Now I'm not saying that's an ideal speed to be cruising around. You're gonna drink a lot of gas in this thing, but man, this thing just sounds rocket. The 6.4 is very fast. It's quick. There's a huge significant difference in acceleration, highway speeds, and all that stuff between the 5.7 and the Scat Pack, I would call it, which it is. The Hemi is cool and fast for acceleration, but when it comes to highway speeds, I can imagine a V6 Camaro can keep up with you. Just because you're in a big V8 doesn't mean you can just smoke everything, unless you're in the right gear at the right time, at the right speed. I love this car, and it makes awesome noise, but if you want better performance, then yeah, go ahead and get the 392. I don't think this thing has a limited step differential. This thing is good for just spinning this wheel, so ask how I know. But if you try to turn left and do some donuts, you get a one wheel spin, but very unattractive. Cool nonetheless, it's still a great car. I'm gonna keep it in manual mode. The traction control is on. Let's see how fast I get to 0 to 60. The best is 5.5 seconds. This thing pulled very strong. And it did kind of hit the rev limiter, so I may put it back in drive and let the transmission do all of its work. It spin this wheels just a little bit. I think you could do it better. Do it one last time. The camera went back. When you turn the AC, for some reason I just turn the knob once and it goes like to the max. That's kind of weird. I'm gonna cut that down. But the camera went back. I did a 5.3. Should I try one more time? Nah, that's it. That's pretty much good. That is by no means slow. By no means that's absolutely slow. No means. This is pretty quick. And that's pretty much all you need. I'm not for sure what your preference is, but if you want to do something like road legal-ish, then that's pretty impressive. I love this car, man. So kind of in closing, I'm not going to be standing outside the car as I'm talking. I just prefer to be cruising. I really do like this car. I do. I'm not really biased towards any brand. Hopefully you guys don't pick that up in the future. If I like a car, I like it. And the car company may like a lot of cars that I may like. But I'm not an all, Chevy or nothing type of guy, or all Mopar, no car, stuff like that. This is a good GT car from my point of view. When you're in cruise control, it does have cylinder deactivation, and let's see if I can demonstrate that for you. So everything's back to normal except for the steering, which is okay. So if you're cruising along, what you have to do is go to the fuel economy page. As you see, I have my range is 30 miles. In some instance, it will switch to 4 cylinders. I'm in manual mode, that's why. And put it into drive. So it's best to put it into drive, take it off of sport mode, take the engine off of sport, and etc. And as you can hear now, it is in 4 cylinders. And once it's in 4 cylinders, you hear the exhaust. Let me put it back to 80, and let me see if you can tell the difference. And once it goes to 4 cylinders, you can hear the exhaust go in the back. But my battery is critically low, and I'm not going to end this video right now. So this is it. This is the final review of the inside of the car, or why I have the car in my possession.